Good morning everybody, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. And this morning I come to you from another mystical and awesome location here on the east coast of Sydney. I come to you from a place called Benbucker. Have you heard of Benbucker? Benbucker is the headland at the northern end of Bondi Beach and was once famed by a big rock, a big boulder that had been swept onto the headland here from big seas back in the 1860s, I think, or somewhere along those lines. But a long time ago, big oceans, massive oceans, threw up a big boulder which was located down there somewhere, a massive boulder. And on the 3rd of April 1960, a month before I was born, a month and a half before I was born, two mermaid statues were installed on that rock, and were a famous part of Bondi for many years. Tourists would come from all over the world to come and catch a glimpse and have a look at the mermaid statues. And I think a Miss Universe or a Miss Australia and another young lady were the two that modelled for these two famous statues. And there were two beautiful women captured forever in I think steel or some sort of metal, and then attached to the rock, which hopefully we're going to be there forever. But what happened, and you can see the ocean just pounding down there, but it's not a big day. I'll come down here on a big day and you'll be able to see. But what happened is, one day back in 1974, there was a massive ocean, massive storm, and one of the mermaids from the rock was swept off the rock and damaged for good and lost forever. And the other one had her arm damaged and removed by the surf, as well as her tail. So, and I think years later, the Waverley Council came and removed what was left of the last mermaid, and they have since disappeared, never to be seen of again. So now I can understand why we have the sculptures by the sea down here at Bondi, on the Bondi to Bronte leg of the coastal walk, because it's so much to do, and so much a part of the Bondi culture. I must admit, I don't remember as a young guy coming down here and seeing the statues. I don't remember anybody in my family ever talking about the mermaid statues. But there are photographs, and I'll put the photograph in the comments to this video so you can see. But yeah, there's photos of them. But it just goes to show how powerful the ocean can be, to be able to throw up a massive boulder onto the headland. There are fish jumping in the surf down there, being chased by some other fish, no doubt. So not only the boulder being thrown up, but also once the statues that had been welded and skillfully attached to the rock, to have them then reclaimed by the ocean is also a powerful message to all of us, that nature, what man plans and what man designs, nature and God has full control and full power over. Anyway, what I want to do is have a chat to you about another topic which is near and dear to my heart, and I'll be referring to my wonderful late Uncle George yet again. I learnt so much from Uncle George, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Everybody who met Uncle George learnt heaps from Uncle George. Uncle George was a very colourful character. He was intellectual, he was well read, he was interesting, and he had a thirst for learning, living and passing it on. But I remember once sitting with him with a few of my other uncles, and we were just chatting away, and he just randomly comes up with things all the time. And he said to me in Greek or English, I forget what it was, but I'll try and say it in both languages. He says, Dimitraki, I'll say it in English. He says, Jimmy, the most common thing in the world is a beautiful woman. Let me say it again. The most common thing in the world is a beautiful woman. He says they're everywhere. And I must admit that, as I'm getting older, I agree, there are beautiful women everywhere. One more gorgeous than the other. Another fish, they're all jumping out there. Let me try and get the videos to show you. They look like salmon or tailor just jumping off the beach there. Anyway, something's chasing them. There he goes again. Anyway, let me continue with that wonderful message. And but there is a but. There is a but, and there's always a lesson. There's always a lesson when Uncle George says something. To those who want to listen, to those who are coachable, and for those who don't allow their arrogance, their male arrogance, to get in the way of the lesson. And I think Uncle George loved talking to me and loved sharing with me, because I think he felt that I was a coachable sort of guy. I was a guy who would listen, would take it in, would process it, and hopefully one day would pass it on, which I'm doing today in the memory of my late Uncle George. So he said the most common thing in the world is a beautiful woman. And he had a beautiful woman by his side. My Auntie Frida was gorgeous. But he said, but, the rarest thing in the world, he said, was to find a beautiful woman who also understood you and you understood her. So how powerful is that as a lesson? The most common thing in the world is a beautiful woman, but the most rare thing in the world to find a beautiful woman who also understands you and you understand her. What a compelling message that was for me, a young man growing up, trying to make sense of relationships, trying to make sense of women, and trying to identify not only a beautiful woman, but also a woman who understands me. I just saw a massive whale breach off the coast there and explode in a massive bomb. Wow, what a day this is. I'm here at Benbucca. We're learning history. We're learning some nice lessons from people who have gone before us. And I also just saw a massive whale breach about 100 metres off the coast here. So getting back to what I was saying, I was trying to find the love of my life. So not only, Uncle George said, not only is it important to find and to be surrounded by a beautiful woman, but it's also, well, the jackpot Another whale. There they are, another 2 whales just breaching way off the coast there. Oh wow, what a vantage point. Now I know why a lot of people come here. But let's continue. I'm up to 10 minutes. All right, let's finish off now. But yeah, for me to find not only a beautiful woman, but a beautiful woman who understands me and who I understand as well. Well, at least I try to understand. I've got to be honest. But yeah, I'm fortunate to have a beautiful woman by my side and in my life who I understand, or at least I try to understand, and she understands me. And as Uncle George said, Metimatia, to have a woman who with just a look in your eye understands the mood you're in and understands what's going through your mind and what's going on in your life. Anyway, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel great. I'm coming to you today from wonderful, wonderful Ben Bucka. It's a glorious morning. The whales are breaching. The ocean is flat. The temperature is mild, and it's a great place to be. So I encourage everybody to come out, get out of their house, and check this place out. And to not forget Uncle George's wisdom, his wise words, that the world is full of beautiful women. And Uncle George was a bit of a playboy as well. We must never forget that. But he was also a great provider and a great husband. And surrounded him was not only a beautiful woman in my Auntie Frida, but also a woman who understood him and he understood her. So there's the lesson, everybody. Try and find a woman. Another massive whale off the coast there. Well, it's all happening. There's another one. Geez, they're a bit too far to catch with a video, but I'm not bullshitting. They are breaching, and it's a glorious day of activity. Take care. See you around, and until tomorrow, 5 a.m. from Jim's 5 a.m. Club. Let's do it again from a different location, different message, unscripted, unplanned, unorganised, from the heart, authentic, and a special message for all of us. We all want to grow and develop. Take care. Yassas. From Ben Bucka. I love you. Bye. Yee-hoo.